All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in our live stream from around the country. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 45 minutes with you going through what DuePoint's all about, what the opportunity's all about. You're welcome to come speak to us after the presentation, ask us any questions that you might have. All right, so let's begin. DuePoint is actually a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. They were founded in 1952, a very long time ago. That's their building in the background. They're based down the road from us here in Randburg. Their little orange logo, you might recognize that logo or not. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there. You'll notice in the foyer above our water cooler outside, we've got all these pictures framed up. Right, those are our FSB licenses that we have on display, so go take a look at those. We've got a long and short-term insurance license, an investment license, our FSP license. We've got our accreditation with the Direct Marketing Association and the Direct Selling Association. So as you can see, we take credibility very seriously. It's important that our guests here this afternoon start developing some trust in the business that we're going to be proposing. That's obviously fundamental in creating any partnership, is that you trust the company that you're actually going to be potentially partnering with. So go take a look at those. The individuals here at DuePoint, at least the executives and the managers here at DuePoint, are these people that you see on the screen, from shortest to tallest, least good looking to best good looking, starting with the least good looking and the shortest person in the team, who's actually the boss, our senior executive, Brendan Benfield. His family have been involved in insurance his entire life. His father's actually a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years, been involved in the insurance sector for plus 50 years. Brendan and his brother Stuart followed in their father's footsteps. Their father actually founded Clientele Life a number of decades ago. Brendan and Stuart, along with their dad, founded a short-term insurer down the road called PMD, or Prime Meridian Direct, which is a very successful short-term insurer. So we're very lucky to have this experience leading our business. Tim Reynolds, very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group, a very senior position there where he reported directly to the CEO. He heads up our financial, the accounting, the regulatory aspects of our business. Stacey supports him in that. She's got a lot of experience in auditing. She was with Deloitte all her working career. She worked locally as well as overseas before she came back to South Africa and joined the team here. So those are the three boring registered chartered accountants in our business. Then the more interesting, colorful people, Jane and myself. Jane's got a lot of experience in direct marketing or direct selling. She comes from the UK, actually, from Yorkshire, and she brings international experience to our business with regards to direct marketing and direct selling. Because even though we're an insurance business, our growth is actually predicated around our success through our marketing channel, which is referral network marketing. So Jane brings that experience. Then we've got myself, the tallest and the best looking in the photograph. I've been working in marketing and advertising all my career. I started my own company in the mid-90s, a digital agency that's still running today. I left after 17 years. I'll touch on why I left. But we were fairly successful. We didn't retrench anybody. We paid everyone salaries for 20 years. So I can deem the business to be successful, yet I walked away from it without a cent. And I'll touch on why that happened. So this is the team, the staff. Our mandate is to support anyone that joins us in this partnership. We want to see you effective and successful, because as a business, we can only be successful and profitable if our partners are the same. And so we will collaborate with you. We will do everything to support you in this business endeavor so that we both can be successful and effective in this business. Right, so you can go do a background check on us. Go search us on Hello Peter. Our profiles are up and ready for everyone to scrutinize. Again, we hope that the individuals that you are introduced to this afternoon lend credibility to the business. And no, you're going to be supported in this business by these people. We don't hide in our offices. You can speak to any of the experienced wealth engineers. We're very much a part of everyone's business. We like to see people working and being effective in this business. All right, so this is kind of the negative part of the presentation. We've actually reduced this part of the presentation because we thought, well, you don't have to tell everybody the pain that they're experiencing from a financial point of view. But I think it's important to touch on three elements, and these are really driving factors as to why people would be interested in entrepreneurial opportunities, because entrepreneurial opportunities require sacrifice, right? You realize that by coming here, if you're going to engage in this business, it's going to require extra time from you, extra sacrifice to make this business part of your life. But we look at the driving factors, and I think it's important to recognize these factors. One is the economy. The economy is not doing us any favors at the moment. It's something we don't have control over. We've got massive unemployment rates. I think our growth at the moment is sitting at like 0.5%, where in the last 6 months has actually been in recession. You're more likely to get retrenched than promoted in your business. So it paints a really horrible picture of what our outlook is from an economic point of view with regards to South Africa. And we're not unique in the world, obviously, but these are aspects that play directly into our lives because it affects us individually. We see it in the fact that inflation is sitting at between 5 and 7%. It fluctuates. Food inflation is sitting at nearly 11%. It means food's doubling in price every 7 to 8 years at the moment. We see it in the fact that we don't get a raise in line with what inflation is. Right? So I often ask the audience, who got a 5 to 7% increase in their salaries for the last 7 years straight? And if you say no, and almost every single person in the audience always says no, they didn't. What's actually happened is your salary is devalued against what the cost of living is, right? So cost of living is sitting at 5-7% increase every year, but your salary is not keeping up with it. And what's happening is we have this divide that is now forming between what your salary is and what the cost of living is, and this gap is starting to form. Unfortunately, and this is something we're often criticized in South Africa for, is that we try to band-aid over this gap with debt, right? The 4-letter word. And South Africans, as I said, are criticized very much for engaging too much in debt instruments, not enough in savings and investment products, and this is true. And debt comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes. I've now heard last week in an article that one of the big retailers wants to sell food on credit. Right? That is a frightening prospect. That's just going to make a way bigger hole for a lot of us if we start engaging in buying food that you eat, deposit into the toilet, and then still paying for a year later. All right? It's not a good idea, not a good idea. On top of this, when we start engaging in all of this debt, it actually has an exacerbating effect and something that we don't realize. I think a lot of South Africans turn a blind eye to it. It's called retirement. It's something that's inevitable. It's something that we're all going to have to face sooner or later. And we turn a blind eye to it, I think, because we're very much focused on the debt cycle that we find ourselves in. And perhaps you don't even recognize that you're in this debt cycle. But I can promise you now, we're all in a debt cycle. 98% of our population is in this debt cycle. Because at the end of every month, I bet you're worrying about money. At the end of every year, come December, traveling, Christmas, kids, school fees, new uniforms, new stationery. You get paid by your employer early in January. You don't realize it. And then you panic at the end of January because you realize you've actually spent the money that you got paid for earlier. We're all in this debt cycle. And unfortunately, we become very focused on this debt cycle and we start to turn a blind eye to retirement. And retirement can be quite a depressing day for a lot of people because we see that 98% of our population get to retirement not financially independent. You get to retirement and realize you've either got to downgrade your lifestyle to such an extent that you can survive the next 30 years of your life, right? And it's only 2% of our population that get to retirement financially independent. 2%, right? That's like no one in this room. Maybe half a person in this room will get to retirement financially independent. And really what this business presentation is about recognizing these factors that exist in our lives. And like I said, I don't have to tell you individually what pain you're going through financially. You all know that. But we have to recognize these factors, and what the business presentation is about remedying the situation that we find ourselves in an effort to try and move you from the 98% into the 2%. That's really what we want to do here. And like I said, it's going to require sacrifice, unfortunately. So you're here today, I assume, ready to take on more work in your life, right? So that you can change your circumstance. So out of all of that negativity, we saw an opportunity as a business. We developed a platform or a system called the DuePoint system. It was launched last year in February. We have 3 aspirations in mind for the people that join our business. So you can align yourselves with these aspirations or not. But our aspirations for you is, number 1, to see you become debt-free. Completely debt-free. It is an awesome aspiration to have. It's not something I even thought about. I'm 40. The last 20 years, I've always thought debt was just a natural form of life, right? Home loans, paying off a car. You can never buy things cash. Having a credit card is so convenient. I adopted debt into my life as this normal thing. I never had the aspiration of trying to remove debt completely out of my life. But in the last 2 years, that's changed. So we have the same aspiration for you. To go through the month, get your salary paid at the end of the month, hopefully get a good return from DuePoint at the end of the month, and have no debit orders. No debit orders. Can you imagine what that must feel like? You own the house you live in, you own the car you drive in, you pay for your kids' school education a year up front. You don't have credit card debt, you don't have a clothing account debt, you don't buy things on hire purchase. None of that. All the money that goes into your bank account stays there until you decide what you want to do with it. And that leads us on to our second aspiration. Our second goal for the people in this business is to start building wealth through putting money into investments and building value in assets that you have ownership over, that doesn't have underlying debt instruments. Right? Aspiration number 2. Aspiration number 3 happens on its own. So the third goal is just to see people happier, because that's really why you're here. The person that came to you and told you about DuePoint, they put a little bit of hope in your heart that you had the opportunity to change your circumstance. Right? So you're not stressed at the end of the month or the end of the year, that you can change the circumstance for your family, and I believe you could change the circumstance for generations beyond just what you do for your own family. So those are our 3 goals. How does this work? Our guests here this afternoon, you've got the opportunity to join DuePoint. You actually contract with us. When you contract with us, we call you wealth engineers. And as wealth engineers, we only expect one thing from you, and that is to go out and build what we call these channels of distribution. And we will talk about channels of distribution constantly in this business, because that's really all you're going to be doing. And what you're really doing is just introducing people to DuePoint. That's all you're going to be doing. The people that you introduce to us will expose to our products and hopefully place products with those individuals, and that is how this business works. The benefit for you is that you get to create an additional income stream. That's obvious. The nature of the income that you produce here is very important, because this sets us aside from almost every other income generating form that exists out there. And it's one that is recurring in nature. Some people refer to it as passive income. My father refers to it as making money while you're sleeping. Right? Isn't that a great thing? That's how he explained it to me when I was very young, but I didn't cotton on it. It took me 17 years running my own business to realize, hold on, I'm not making money while I'm sleeping. Right? This is a problem. That's why I walked away from that business. I realized that I would have to work in that business until I dropped dead one day. Because every single month I had to work for every single cent that we earned in that business. And if I didn't work, if I took one day off, it meant I earned less. If I took a week off, it was a quarter less income in that month. If all my staff took leave in December, it meant we didn't generate any income in December. Not the business you want to be in. And a lot of businesses are like that. Employment is like that. And I assume everyone here is employed. It is exactly the same thing. You get a little bit of leave, 15 to 20, maybe if you're very lucky, 25 days leave a year. That's it. Beyond that, you lose income when you don't go to work. Right? So recurring income is what we produce here. It is your ability to put effort into a business that won't pay you once off income. It'll keep paying you income based on early efforts, right? This also speaks to the power of duplication. This is leverage. These channels of distribution that you're going to be building are actually your opportunity to go out and find very capable, resourceful people to bring into your channel of distribution that will collaborate with you in increasing your recurring income. So again, your efforts aren't solely dependent on your efforts alone. You can now collaborate with 10, 100 people to build your business faster, make it more effective, create a greater recurring income. This is a flexi-time business. This is a double-edged sword. Some people think it's a benefit. I don't think it's so much of a benefit. I would much rather dictate to you how much time to spend in this business, but I can't. This is unfortunately a volunteer business. So you need to decide how much time you want to spend in this business. The double edge of it, the other side of the sword, is that you're accountable for your own time, right? And some people, they don't have that accountability in them. They don't. They treat this like a New Year's resolution, right? Like they're trying to stop smoking or they're trying to lose weight. They're good at it for a week and then they're not. And there's a lot of people that get involved in this business because they get excited. It's easy to get excited. Excitedness does not lead to success. It doesn't. Anyone can get excited at the drop of a hat. You have to come to terms with the sacrifice that's needed to be successful in this business. At the end of this presentation, if DuePoint is something that you want to engage with, you have to decide in your head, how does DuePoint fit into my life on a weekly or even a daily basis, and commit to it. Because otherwise you're wasting your time, right? So that's just my warning. So it's flexi time. You get to decide how that looks. There's no startup capital. There's no registration fees in our business. There's no boxes of product that you have to buy to get involved in DuePoint. So we make it very accessible to a lot of people, risk-free. There's no qualifications or experience required. It doesn't matter whether you've got a matric, you don't have a matric, you've got work experience, you don't have work experience, you've got a degree, you don't have a degree, I don't care what it looks like. Right? We work within financial services. We are regulated by the FASE Act. We contract you out of that obligation. So you can enjoy the benefit of being in financial services, which very few people do, without having to worry about all the regulation. You get to build an asset. Now, this is probably one of the most important benefits on the slide, because again, it's the antithesis of where we find ourselves in employment. Because if you are employed, you are spending a lifetime. Think about how much time you spend at work. 40 to 45 years. 8 hours out of every single day, you're going to be going out, sacrificing your time to build someone else's asset. Do you realize that? Employment has a place. A salary has a great place in your life. It pays for your bills, right? And that's it. That's it. I saw the most wonderful meme. You know what a meme is? These little postcard pictures that make you laugh. People send them on Facebook and WhatsApp, right? So I saw this meme last week that illustrates this example perfectly. It's a guy standing next to his brand new Lamborghini. You know these Lamborghinis, the Lamborghini shop up the road here. 8 million rand a Lamborghini. He's standing next to his new Lamborghini. And there's another man standing to the side saying, "Boss, that is a nice car you got." And the boss says to him, "My man, if you work extra hard and you stay committed and passionate to what you're doing, I can buy another one next year." That's the position that we find ourselves in, right? This benefit over here, build an asset, is an asset that you have legal tender over. These channels of distribution that you're building at DuePoint, you own. They're in your name. So know that the time that you sacrifice into this business is going into an asset that you own. You can sell this channel of distribution. You can give it to your kids one day. It can survive past you, right? You can seed it onto your beneficiaries. So know that. It's the opposite of employment. There's no selling involved in our business. We contract you out of selling. You're not allowed to sell. You're not allowed to speak about our products, sell our products, give advice on our products. It's a great benefit. Who wants to sell? Who wants to sell? You want to go out and tell people about the business opportunity that exists at DuePoint. And it's the most attractive commodity. That's what people want to hear. That's what people are longing after in this country, especially in this economy, right? You come tell them, "I've got a financial opportunity for you." No selling involved. You get to build recurring income, an asset that you own. That's what people want to hear about. That's what you're going to be talking about. The nature of our products are intangible because they're financial products. This is great. It means we don't have stock and distribution issues. It means you don't have to buy boxes of product. It doesn't take up space in your car, in your boot, in your garage. It doesn't expire. It doesn't start to smell funny after 3 months when you forget about it. So we make this business as convenient as possible to get involved in, but this is all dependent. Your success is dependent on your ability to go out and build these channels of distribution. They begin with you. That's you in the middle there. You're going to go speak to people about this business opportunity. If you're successful in bringing them, exposing them to this business opportunity, they take out one of our products. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Those people that come into the organization are going to do exactly the same thing you do. They're going to go out and tell other people. Right? This is where the power of duplication comes in. This is where leverage comes in, because you only spent that much effort bringing 5 people into the business. This is potentially what your business can look like. This is what a channel of distribution looks like. This organic growth that takes place. And next month there will be a few more dots. You're being paid for every single dot that you see on the screen every single month going forward. Right? That's where the recurring income comes in. So that's what a channel of distribution looks like. This is my warning slide, my disclaimer. You'll be forgiven if you come to this presentation with the premise of this is a get-rich-quick scheme. Did anyone think that? Don't lie to me. You did, right? It's one of those schemes. When I joined this business, I'd never been involved in any form of network marketing or referral marketing in the past. I found it very intriguing. I was amazed at how many people actually get involved in get-rich-quick schemes, where someone will promise them success so easily. Just put 25,000 Rand here, and next week, you'll get 50,000 Rand. Sign me up! Right? Who wouldn't sign up for that? Why did you not realize that it's a complete lie? If that was truth, why does not every single South African sell their houses and put all the money into that bank account and double it 2 weeks later? We are not one of those businesses. We're a 70-year-old insurance company. It doesn't get more boring than that, right? We are regulated by one of the most onerous forms of regulation that exist in the country, the Phase Act. We've got very reputable individuals in this organization. We will never risk the company, our reputation, by trying to align a division with a get-rich-quick scheme. And at the same time in this business, I never speak to my wealth engineers and say that success in this business comes easy. It doesn't. If you've ever had the privilege of trying to run or start your own business and make a success out of it, you'll realize how difficult it is. 95% of new businesses fail in the first year. We're not one of those businesses. If you want success out of this business that we're talking about today, it requires long-term commitment, consistent commitment, perseverance, all these things that make business successful. So don't be fooled, right? So if you see the picture, don't think business looks like the pretty ballerina's foot. This is what business looks like. Bruised, bloody, painful. You willing to put up with that? If you're willing to put up with the downside of entrepreneurial enterprise, you get to enjoy the upside of entrepreneurship. And that is about financial freedom, deciding what you do with your income, what you do with your time, liberating your family economically. But there's no shortcuts. No shortcuts. Okay, so there's two ways to earn in our business. One is through our returns program. The second way is through our rewards program. So two, right? Returns, rewards. Returns is what we pay you at the end of every month, depending on how much product you have in your channel of distribution. So we're going to discuss the returns. We pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product you have in your channel every single month, right? Remember the first 5 people you introduced to the business? They actually lie on your first point. So they're 1 point away from you. And on point 1, we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. You get 55 Rand every single month for every product on your first point. On the second point, these are friends of friends or colleagues of colleagues. These are people you don't necessarily know, but they're still within your organization. On point 2, again, 55 Rand for every product every month. And then as your product starts getting further and further away from you, the multiplier starts to drop, right? All the way down to 4% at the 8th point. So at the 8th point, you're getting paid 1.10 Rand, but we don't limit you there. So this is important to note. From your 8th point into infinity, in theory. Because you could be I promise you, if you're here for 3 years, you're going to be here for 5 years. If you're here for 5 years, you're probably going to be here for 10 years, right? Because you're going to be having success in this business. You will grow your business beyond point 8. And from your point 8 onwards, we will keep paying you 4% of the 27.50 Rand. We don't limit you on how big your business can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. There are no year modes. This is as simple as it gets. This is the mechanics of our returns. Nothing changes here. All right? We get to ask the next question, well, how much money do people earn in this business? What can I kind of expect out of this business? So we built this projection over the next 5 years called the Path to Success. It is dependent on a growth formula. Right? So our growth formula that we've adopted in this example is something we call 3 + 2. It assumes a new wealth engineer in their first month can add 3 people into their business. Right? And then every consecutive month thereafter, you bring in another 2 people. So this is just an example. So 3 people in October, you're going to bring another 2 in November, 2 in December, 2 in January, 2 in February, 2 into perpetuity. It's 1 person every 2 weeks forever. If you can do that, this is what you can expect. 2,500 Rand after 6 months. No one's walking out, so I assume you're still happy with the 2,500 Rand on offer. But are you willing to put in 6 months of work to get to 2,500 Rand a month? People are generally very undecided about this. They're thinking, 2,500 Rand, you can't buy much with 2,500 Rand anymore, right? We make the mistake of thinking like spenders, consumers. We look at money and we decide, what can we spend the money on? You need to start changing your thinking around money. You can't think like a consumer and spender anymore, especially when you're in this business or start your own business. You need to start thinking about creating wealth and value. And when you start thinking like that, you give money a different form. You give it future value form, right? So I'm going to demonstrate to you. 2,500 rand. You can turn your nose up at it and go, 2,500 rand after 6 months of work doesn't sound worth it. This is recurring income, right? So you're going to be getting this every month. Here's an example of someone with R1,000,000 debt. R1,000,000 debt. I reckon the average debt in South Africa, this is the average debt, it's actually staggering, sitting at nearly 300,000 rand per person in South Africa in debt that we have, right? So yeah, someone with R1,000,000 debt, that's 3 times the amount. They joined DuePoint with some success. 6 months later, they're earning 2,500 rand. What do? Do they go buy new Nikes, new handbag, go for fancy lunch? Or do they do the boring thing and decide to start paying their debt off a little faster? Remember our first aspiration in our business, become debt-free, right? So it requires a very mature decision by doing the boring thing and start paying your debt off faster. So they decide to do that. They put 2,500 rand as an additional payment into their 1,000,000 rand bond. On this 1,000,000 rand bond, which typically would have been over 20 years, right? Paying 11,500 rand a month back to the bank for 20 years. So if I'm 40, I engage in a bond now, I'm going to become a homeowner when I'm 60, right? But if I put the 2,500 rand as an additional payment into this bond, I'll become a homeowner at the age of 51. I've nearly halved the term of the bond with that little 2,500 rand as an additional payment. I saved myself in repayments R1,000,000 rand. Think about that. Your house cost R1,000,000 rand. The whole value of the house is R1,000,000 rand. 2,500 rand will save you the full value of that asset. And it'll allow you to now start putting 14,000 rand, right? Because you take the 2,500 rand plus the 11,500, you get to put 14,000 rand away for the next 8.5 years into your retirement fund that you wouldn't have otherwise. 12 months, you're in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Anyone expecting 100,000 rand bonus at the end of the year? No one? Need to work harder. I know, you don't get paid more if you work harder, right? You just get a slap on the back. 30,000 rand after 24 months. 36 months, you're up to 50,000 rand a month. Here we have an example at the 30-month mark, someone with a 5,000,000 rand bond, you're a high flyer now, earning about 36,000 rand in returns from DuePoint. You put that as an additional payment into your bond, you'll pay that 5,000,000 rand house off in less than 7 years. So I'm 40. At 47, I pay my first house off, buy another house. At the age of 54, I pay the second house off. At the age of 61, I've paid my third house off. I now own 15 million rand in property assets. I can retire, be living in my 5,000,000 rand house that's paid off, renting the other 2 houses out for 60, 70,000 rand a month in passive income, plus whatever I'm getting from DuePoint at that stage. Do you think I care whether I get retired or not? Do you think I'm become one of the 98% of the population that realize I have to go look for another job, or I have to sell everything, or move in with my kids and family just to survive every month? It requires a decision 20 years before the realization. After 48 months, you had 70,000 rand a month. After 5 years, a short 60 months, could be earning in excess of 1,000,000 rand in recurring income. That changed quickly, didn't it? You were all depressed at 2,500 rand, and now you're thinking 1,000,000's too much. Right? Now it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Where did I lose you? What's more realistic for you? Right? Do you notice how your income goes up every month? In employment, you're begging for 7% a year. Sometimes you even have to go toy for it. Right? We do. We do. We have to demand it. We have to demand it. We have to get violent just to get 7% a year. But this is all academic. This is just an example. It's based on 3 plus 2. You can do less than 3 plus 2. Right. All those people I talk about in this business that do less than 3 plus 2, they get excited, they do nothing. Or you can do more than 3 plus 2. The accountability always lies with you. Always lies with you. You decide what to think about when you wake up in the morning. You don't get a phone call from me at 7 o'clock in the morning. What you doing today? You going to do DuePoint today? No? You too busy? You decide. We've got wealth engineers doing way more than 3 plus 2. They make a daily decision as to what they're spending their time on that day. Yeah, Safiso is from Joburg. After 30 days, he got to 715 Rand. After 90 days, he's nearly at 4,000 Rand a month. September last month, halfway through September, we were raising nearly 10,000 Rand in debit orders on his account. Do you know how much money you need to have in an investment to earn 5,000 Rand a month? So this is a retirement scenario, right? So I assume everyone in the room is saving money towards their retirement, right? You're all doing that, right? No? When you get to retirement, you want to have saved enough money into an investment. If you have gotten to the point where you've saved R1 million in your investment, that R1 million will pay you out 5,000 Rand a month for 30 years. This is what retirement planning looks like. This is responsible financial planning. You need R1 million saved. If you want to save R1 million, you can do that. Anyone under the age of 25 here? No one. One person. You start saving 800 Rand a month for the next 40 years. The contribution has to increase with inflation every single year. By the time you get to 65, you'll have R1 million invested. That R1 million will pay you out a handsome 5,000 Rand a month, which you can survive on for the next 30 years. Can anyone survive on 5,000 Rand a month? Safiso created nearly 5,000 Rand a month for himself in recurring income, the equivalent of R1 million sitting in the bank in the space of 90 days. Or you can do the responsible thing and do it for 40 years at 800 Rand a month. Do you see the value in creating income, in creating recurring income? Here's Reinhold and Rumbi. Very similar, also joined at the end of April, like Safiso. 1,500 Rand by May, within 30 days, within 90 days, 5,000 Rand a month, nearly 10,000 Rand a month by the middle of August, middle of September. Rudolph and Marsha, they joined us the day we launched our business in February last year. Their income has gone up every single month. They've taken control over their income. Do you think they care what the economy is doing, what their boss thinks of them? That the company's not doing so well and we can't give you a raise. Actually, we're going to retrench a whole bunch of people. Do you think they worry about that? They are working towards taking control over their income. We pay hundreds of wealth engineers every single month, and the number is increasing every single month. There are more and more people coming into this business earning money beyond what their employers are paying them. They make a decision every single day as to what they're spending their time on. Is it watching TV, relaxing, spending time with the kids, watching sport, working? Only you can make the decision. So that's the returns program. That's what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. I told you there was a second way to earn as a wealth engineer, through our XP rewards program. All right? So the rewards program works like this. You become a wealth engineer, you're going to do wealth engineer things, like come to presentations, bringing guests with you, watching our live stream, watching training, logging into your app. When you do these things, we give you something called XP. It stands for experience points, right? You can't swap it for Bitcoin or Rands or Zim dollars. It's got no value. There's no value in XP. It's just an indicator of how active you are as a wealth engineer. And when you collect more and more of this XP and your business starts to grow, your channel of distribution starts to grow, you start to enjoy the rewards along the way. So we reward you. You become a wealth engineer today, you'll start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. You're not even on the screen because you're not important. You're not doing anything, right? Rank 0 doesn't mean anything. You're a wealth engineer, well done, but you're not earning anything. But very quickly you can get to rank 1. Because you only need 1,000 XP, you need 4 products in your qualified channel. You get to rank 1, we give you extra 55 Rand once off. Just once off when you get to rank 1. When you get to rank 2, you get some more. And it starts to get more and more and more the more you rank up in our XP rewards program, all the way to 50,000 Rand there by rank 10. That's what Rudolph and Marsha got a couple of months ago. We give tools to our wealth engineers that help them be more effective in building their channels of distribution. So this is a little USB stick that all our rank 5s get. It plugs into anything, Apple, Android, banana, cell phones, tablets, TVs, laptops, computers. That little thing plugs into anything. It's wonderful. More importantly, it's got all our video collateral on there. So Patrick and Pumi can show people the DuePoint opportunity. It doesn't matter what device is around them. They say, oh, what you got? Plug it in. What you got? I'll plug it in. Look at what DuePoint can do for you, right? At rank 7, we get these business cards manufactured. They cost us 12,500 Rand a set. You get 1,000 business cards. These are premium, luxurious business cards. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? It's all about first impressions and credibility. If you go out and phone up a friend and say, I've got this wonderful business opportunity that I've been engaged in for the last 6 months, it's doing very well for me, blah, 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 blah. You say it's DuePoint. They go, I've never heard of DuePoint. Your credibility is like this, right? Never heard of DuePoint. You give them a 12,500 rand business card. You say, this is the business I'm talking about. When they look at your business card and feel your business card, they realize your business card costs about 50 times more than the business card their employer gave them. Your credibility goes up. They're willing to now listen to what you have to say, right? The importance of first impressions. At rank 9, we take the wealth engineer and their family, business class flights, 7 days to our international conference, to a 5-star luxury resort, not once off, every single year for the rest of your life going forward. Think about that. What happens at the end of the year? Family meeting, check the bank accounts, right, with the husband or wife. You getting a bonus? No. You getting a bonus? No. Okay. We're going to Umhlanga Rocks or the Vol Dam. That's how it works, right? You've got to make all these decisions about what you're doing at the end of the year. You get to rank 9, you don't have to make those decisions. The only thing you have to do is go to HR and book your week off. That's it. You don't have to look at your bank account. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate. You tell your kids we're flying business class again, overseas, to a 5-star luxury resort. And we're going to do it every single year. Do you know how that liberates the minds of your kids? I read an article on the benefits of international travel for children. You'll be amazed how it changes the paradigm for kids about the rest of the world. Amazing. It's not just a holiday. But take a look at where we're going. Imagine yourself with your toes in the sand. Connect with rank 9.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
So rank 9 is available for everybody in the room. Everybody. Do you believe you can get there? Yes. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. One gentleman got to rank 9 in 5 months. He had never heard of DuePoint before in his life. Someone phoned him, said DuePoint, sent him a link to a video, said watch the video. He joined. He got about 5-6 people to join that week. He went to rank 9 5 months later. But it's so easy to get excited. So easy to get excited for rank 9. At rank 11, we spent R250,000 on a brand new car and give it to the wealth engineer. No strings attached. No debit order at the end of the month. The car is yours. You know how quick it is to buy a car cash in this country? We wouldn't know, right? Because we all buy cars under hire purchase. I want to know everything about you. This is rank 11. Our rewards program goes up to rank 28. What happens at rank 28? Someone said the other night, a new husband. I get a new husband at rank 28. So this is the rewards program, right? We've got the returns program, we've got the rewards program. There's a third way to benefit as wealth engineers called our wealth quests, that little pink WQ. It's something that we do every month. It's a challenge that we issue to wealth engineers once a month. Once a month, the wealth quest is different, the reward's different. This month's called explosive growth. You can see what we expect out of you. The challenge is to bring in 7 new wealth engineers into your channel. All right, get 2 of them qualified, and that will earn you a brand new Apple iPhone plus 2,000 XP. And if you're able to, and this is probably for the more experienced wealth engineers that have been around here, if you can reinstate 3 people that came into your business and then left, whether they canceled their products or whether they just stopped doing the business, if you can reinstate 3 people that had left in the past, we'll give you an extra 3,000 Rand. All by the end of next month. Right? Just more benefit for our wealth engineers to engage in. So we asked the question, well, how does DuePoint afford all of this? Because it seems a bit beyond reality. The slide basically explains our business model. Traditional companies like PMD down the road, they spend a lot of money on client acquisition through marketing and advertising. So that's typically the insurance industry. DuePoint doesn't do any marketing and advertising. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. We don't spend a cent on marketing. We rely on our wealth engineers, on you guys, to go out and tell people about what DuePoint's all about. And so we don't spend the billions on marketing and advertising like the insurance industry does. Instead, we take that portion of our premium, we pay it to our wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards. That illustrates our business model. We've got 3 products here at DuePoint. You are free to look at 1 product, 2 products, or all 3 products. It's a personal decision. It's completely up to you. Product number 1 is an investment product. It's called the Access Wealth Plan, 299 Rand a month. It's made of 2 products, the first part of which is the investment account. This is a tax-free investment account of which 100 Rand will be put into every single month. It sits with Sanlam. It's not a notice or a fixed deposit, so you can draw your funds out of this investment at any stage. It's completely flexible. You also get some insurance on this investment product to the value of 110,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. So this is our investment product called the Access Wealth Plan. The second product is strictly insurance. This is called Wealth Guard for 274 Rand a month. You get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover is not life insurance. Right? Life insurance, the premium's different for every single person because every single person's got a different risk profile. On this product, there's no risk profile. So the premium remains the same for every single person, regardless of your age and your health status. Okay? Product number 3 is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. This product aims to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. How much are you spending on groceries every month? Too much. 274 Rand a month for this product. It allows you to enjoy the discounts with all those partners that we have listed there. So we've got retailers there, ShopRite, Checkers, Takealot, Vodri, Hearses, Yuppie Chef, right? Save you money that you're spending every month anyway. You get 2.5% to 5% discount on your entire trolley every time you shop at those retailers. We've got data, always on Wi-Fi data, 1 gig, 36 Rand. That's 67% off their normal pricing, only for our Wealth Points Buyers Club members. We've got the entertainer, 1.3 million Rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers that gives you access to restaurants around the country, hotels around the world, spas, live events, an awesome product. Eagle Forward, get discounts at Eagle Forward. So there's awesome benefit out of this product. If you're looking for immediate benefit out of any of our products, that's the one to have. So if you want to know anything more about the products are very straightforward. Very simple, right? Come speak to me if you have any questions. What is the decision? The decision is, do you want to take control over your income or not? We can moan and moan and moan about all these other factors that affect our personal circumstances. But unless you're willing to do the work yourself, you're not going to change your circumstance. I'm tired of people getting excited about this business and doing nothing. It reflects what actually happens in business. You know, these big consultancies, McKinsey, Bain, they've done research on people. They'll say there's always 10% of the people doing all the work in the business, right? So which of the 10% in this audience is the people that are actually going to do this business? Take away the Rank 9. Take away the Wealth Quest, the iPhone. Take it all away. This business is about building a return every single month. That is where the value lies in this business. Take the hype out of it. Don't leave here excited. Leave here determined that you're going to put work into this business and make it work for yourself. I don't want to see people join this business and do nothing. Right? I want to change the 10% to 11%. 11% of this audience is going to make this work. Right? That's what I want to see. Next month, maybe 12%. We'll be realistic. But be authentic with yourself about this. This is a proper business opportunity. If you've ever been involved in business, it takes planning, strategy, goal setting, all that stuff that you read about in business consultancy books. It applies to this business too. You have to take this business very seriously, and we've got all the training available for you to get you started, right? You're not alone in this endeavor. You've got all the support that you need. Getting started, make sure you read our code of conduct. It is our contract with you. It defines what you can and cannot do in this business. So few people read it, right? It's like on your cell phone. Have you read the terms and conditions? You scroll to the bottom, click yes. I just want to get started. Read your code of conduct. It's not a complicated document. Register as a wealth engineer. The application takes about 7 minutes to become a wealth engineer, and then apply yourself properly to your channel. Do the online training. Our YouTube channel is filled with, I think, 500 videos. There's only 6 videos. I don't want to make you panic. There's 6 or 7 videos that form the basis of this business, right? Go watch those videos. Set goals for yourselves. Have one goal that seems completely unrealistic. R1 million a year? Is that unrealistic for you? R1 million in additional income a year over and above your salary. Have an unrealistic goal, but then have short-term realistic goals that are more like tasks. Prepare a plan. Make sure you know what your strategy is, right? And then start talking to people. That's all that's required in this business, right? Just start talking to people. That's it. Tell them about this opportunity. I'll do the rest of the work. Me and Brendan stand up here for an hour shouting at you, right? Let us do the work. You just get people to get interested in what this opportunity is all about. We've got merchandise. It's not a profit center for us. Like I said, this business very much relies on first impressions and credibility. Get business cards. No one that comes to me and proposes some business solution to me, and I say, do you have a business card? They say, no. I was like, well, get out of my office. Right? You're not serious. Get business cards. USB sticks, got a lot of video there. You don't want to use data, get the USB stick. We've got power banks, notepads, the pen, and those little pins over there represent people that are actually earning money in this business. When you become qualified, when you start earning a return, get the pin. It shows people, you can wear it with pride, it shows people that you actually know what you're doing in this business, that you're at rank 1 on your way to rank 28. Right? We're going to East London this weekend. Very exciting for us. Eastern Cape came online at the beginning of the year. They just went crazy in the Eastern Cape. If you know anyone even in the remote vicinity of the Eastern Cape, make sure that they are there. It's your opportunity to start building channels outside of the province that you're in. If you speak to any of our successful wealth engineers, they have got channel legs in every province. It's your opportunity to start building business outside of Gauteng. Third Degree Thursday, this is something that's happening on Thursday night, tomorrow evening. It is similar to this. It's an intro presentation that's shortened slightly, and then what we do is we invite a panel of wealth engineers up to discuss the challenges and the objections that they face, what's happening on the ground, right? They get to empathize with everybody. You get to learn from their experience, from the mistakes they've made, from the things that they've done that work for them. So come to Throwdown Thursday tomorrow night, Third Degree Thursday. It's an awesome opportunity. If you can't get here, make sure you tune into the live stream. And if you can't do that, just watch the video. It's going to be on YouTube the moment it finishes. It's on YouTube, ready for anyone to watch. All right? We've launched our new mobile app last week. There's still quite a few bugs in the app, but download the new mobile app. You have the ability now to update your profile picture. So you can take a selfie. No duck faces in the selfie. Ladies, right? It's a passport photo with a smile. Think of it like that. If you update your profile photo, you get 1,000 XP, just like that. That's rank 1 right there, 1,000 XP. Right? As easy as that. Like I said, we've got the YouTube channel, about 500 videos on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It'll tell you every time we do a live event. It tells you every time we upload a new video. And make sure you got the download, the mobile app downloaded once you become a wealth engineer. The don'ts of being a wealth engineer. This is a new slide we put in because I'm tired of fielding these wealth engineers that are doing things that are in contravention of the code of conduct, right? And law in some instances. You cannot become a wealth engineer if you can't afford it. If you cannot afford the product, don't take out one of the products, right? That should be obvious. You don't have access to the internet. This is very much a 21st century technology-driven business. Your mobile app and your phone run your business with you. If you don't have access to the internet or data, this business is probably not for you. You struggle with transport. At the same time where we've adopted technology, this is still very much a relationship-based business. It is a one-on-one business. When I bring someone into my channel, it's someone that I know, right? Don't have to know them like friends, but I know that they're resourceful, they've got access to the internet, they are someone that's going to add value to my business. It's not someone off the street. So you need transport. Ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of someone else? This is illegal. Not in contravention of the code of conduct only, it is also illegal. It is fraudulent to do that. I've seen wealth engineers taking down people's details on a piece of paper, then jumping onto their phone on the internet and doing the application for somebody. You're breaking the law, right? There's a police station close to us here. Right? I don't want to see that. Make sure that the people in your channels understand that rule. It is a huge contravention. And then add direct family members. Anyone in your household cannot be in your channel. Right? It's too much conflict of interest. Because one person does all the work, I've got to pay for the husband, the sister, the brother, the auntie, the granddad. It's called stacking. We don't allow stacking in this business. Too much manipulation that happens in that. So if the person's in your household, they cannot be in your channel. Right? Easy rule. Don't start a DuePoint Facebook page, please. This is where I cry every morning in my office for a little bit. I have a little cry because I get a report from a company that does searches on social media on the people that are doing DuePoint related stuff on social media. Don't start a Facebook page. It's in contravention of your code of conduct. You will get a phone call from us and we'll suspend you. It happens immediately. We've got it down to a T, so it's a good warning. So those are the don'ts, guys, based on that. Oh, we've got one more. Send a lead DuePoint by themselves. Okay, this must be one that Brendan's added. So what we have is we have people getting people that are interested in DuePoint, and then they say, oh, just go to head office. Head office will take care of you there. Then we've got people arriving at head office, standing in the foyer, and go, can you help? Can we help you? Yeah, I sent you. This is one-on-one relationship business. You want someone's business. You've got to treat them like a client, right? You come with them to head office. It's not my job to do that. That's your job. My job is up here. Okay, so don't do that. Make sure you're taking care of the people that you introduce to the business. For our wealth engineers, we've got 57 days left of spring to the 1st of December. It is our reminder to our wealth engineers to get off the couch and start doing work. Doing work, please. Too many of the 0+0 club. Make sure that the next 57 days are something that adds value to your life. Start doing this business. You can't think about it the whole time. When people come to me and say, ooh, I'm going to do this business. If you're talking to me, it means you're not talking to other people, right? Stop talking, start working. Guys, and on that note, we're done. I thank you for your time. I hope that the new people get to rank 1 by tomorrow, because you can get to rank 1 within 24 hours, right? And then I'll buy you breakfast if you do that. If you have any questions, come speak to me. I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out to our head office. Good luck.